The Map by Ruba Qewar. Chapter 5. Future Trends. Present Analysis of the Evangelism, Geo-Religious and Geopolitics. Christian Beliefs of the Second Coming of Jesus. All Christians believe that Jesus came the first time as a humble person to teach them spiritual things and how to act in love and mercy. However, Jesus will come again as a king and will kill the Antichrist, end evil on earth, and will rule the earth for 1,000 years. Some of the teachings of Jesus' second coming are in Matthew 16:27. It says, "For the Son of Man is going to come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and will then repay every man according to his deeds." Many books were written about the second coming of Jesus and the signs of the end of times, and some of these books were inserted as a canonical book in the Bible, such as the Book of Revelation. The theologians improved the doctrine in how the Christ will come back and end the world. They took most of their information from the Old and New Testament. However, the idea of Jesus ruling for 1,000 years, a millennium, is taken from Revelation 24. It says, "Then I saw thrones, and they sat on them, and judgment was given to them. And I saw the souls of those who had been beheaded because of their testimony of Jesus and because of the word of God, and those who had not worshipped the beast or his image, and had not received the mark on their forehead and on their hand, and they came to life and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years." Theologians disagree on the interpretation of the last signs. However, we will discuss the most well-known school of thought in the explanation of the relationship of Jesus Christ's second coming with the establishment of the State of Israel. This is a description of what will happen in the future according to the Christian theology. The literal school of thought. Most Christians follow this school of thought. They believe that Jesus is literally coming back to rule the world for 1,000 years. They separate the church from Israel. They believe that the prophecies of the Old Testament cannot be applied on the church, but they are strictly only for the Jews. They believe that God has chosen the Jews from all the other nations in the Old Testament, and at the end God will gather his people after he punishes them and will give them the land. The followers of this school relate the prophecies with what is happening in reality. They believe that the Roman Empire will come back and the Jews are being gathered on the land of Palestine, as it is mentioned in the book of Ezekiel. In other words, what happened in 1948 to the State of Israel's establishment was considered the fulfillment of the prophecy. The followers of this school believe that Jesus will come after preparing the world stage and fulfilling everything that is written in the Bible. There are certain numbers of Jews who will have the right to rule along with the Christ. They believe that the temple must be built again. Although Jewish practices must be performed, they are even trying to clone the red cow in order for it to be used in their sacrifices in the temple, etc. The Christians assure the second coming of Jesus historically. However, the time for his coming is unknown. They see that it is very important to evangelize as many people as they can because they believe it is one of the commandments of Jesus before he was raised. Jesus said in Matthew 24:14, "This gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all the nations, and then the end will come." All Christian denominations agree that Israel will be supreme over all the nations, and all the nations will be blessed by the offspring of Abraham, as it is mentioned in Genesis 12:1-3.